guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm clearly living my best scrunchy life today. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty excited that scrunchies are like back in style. I was a child of the 90s, so scrunchies were definitely a thing when I was growing up, and my inner 8-year-old self is all about it. But anyway, before I get myself super distracted, we are here because it's August 1st. I don't know how the heck that happened, but that means it's time for us to say goodbye to July, to wrap things up with my monthly beauty report. This is a series I've been doing on my channel for quite a while if you're new here. So basically, at the end of every month, I do a little wrap up with mini reviews of a whole bunch of new products that I've tried. If you're in a binge-watchy kind of mood, I will link the playlist that has more of them for you up here in the cards. But these videos are notoriously super long. I've got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about with you guys today, so instead of me rambling at you any further, let's get into the beauty goodness. So why don't we start out with makeup? I've actually got a whole bunch of stuff from the drugstore to talk about and only one thing that's high-end, so why don't we start there? So it was my birthday at the beginning of the month, and one of the things that my parents gifted me was this ridiculously adorable blush from Too Faced. Now, this is part of their Tutti Frutti collection. It's one of their fruit cocktail blush duos, and this is actually one of the new shades that just launched for this summer. It's called Like My Melons. A little bit inappropriate, but kind of cute. And it has quite possibly the most adorable packaging. You've got a little watermelon detailing on the front, and then inside you have a little slice of watermelon printed on the mirror of the compact. Like, seriously, if there's one thing I can give it to Too Faced for, it's for the creativity of their packaging. It's freaking so cute. And essentially, this is a glowy blush duo. So you have one shade inside that's like more of a true blush, and then another that could be a highlight, although on my skin tone, this shade is definitely a little bit too deep. But mixed together, it creates a really, really beautiful, flushed, kind of glowy appearance on the cheeks. Honestly, I've really enjoyed wearing this a lot in the last month. And at first, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit afraid because when you swatch this, it doesn't feel particularly amazing. It's a little bit more of a drier formula. And the highlight side has hunks of silver glitter particles in it that I was afraid were going to look really odd on my cheeks. But when you actually apply this to the face with a brush, I don't think you see any glitter particles. And this shade, especially when mixed in with the blush, it doesn't really look muddy. It looks really nice. It just adds a little bit more luminosity, and I found it to be really flattering. I can't say that it's like a crazy long wear formula, although it didn't fade off of my skin after 2 seconds. I would say, like, performance-wise, it's a pretty standard blush, and it does have a pretty high price tag, so it's hard for me to say that it's worth spending the 30-something dollars to buy this at the full price when, like, for example, Flower Beauty has really beautiful glowy blushes for like $10. But I'm definitely happy to have this in my collection. I mean, it's honestly the freaking cutest thing ever. But this isn't the kind of product that's like so revolutionary or so amazing that you like need to absolutely run out and buy it. And just a couple other quick things to note. This guy does have a scent. It's very light. It doesn't linger, so I don't personally find it to be like too bothersome. But I don't really like the way this smells. I feel like it smells almost like cucumbers, which if it was in skincare, I think I would be into. It just doesn't seem to fit with this blush. I feel like they had the opportunity to make this smell amazing, considering like how many awesome watermelon scented things there are in the market right now. So that was kind of a bummer for me, but honestly, it's really not that big of a deal. And the second thing, if you were thinking about picking one of these up, I would highly recommend going to a local Ulta and looking at them in person and swatching them, because the online colors are very deceiving. I was seriously afraid this was going to be way too dark when I saw it online, but then when I went to the store and actually was swatching all the different shades, I felt like a lot of them were actually too light for my skin tone or didn't have enough pigmentation. This, while it is a more vibrant shade for sure, like let me do like a little quick swatch for you guys. I feel like the actual product is pretty sheer and buildable, so with a brush that's a little bit lighter, you're not going to feel like you have clown cheeks putting this on. And that was part of the reason why I asked for this specific shade, just because, I mean, first of all, it's very summery, kind of gives you those tropical vibes with like the bright sort of vibrant pink, but I also felt like it was the only one that would actually like show up on my skin and be worth buying. So let's move on now to some drugstore goodies. Now, this is a set that I found at CVS. I'd kind of seen this floating around Instagram, so when I actually ran into the display, I couldn't help myself. I had to pick this up. I also had a ton of coupons, so I was able to get it at half price. And I'm going to be very straight with you guys. I do not think this is worth the full price. Do not pay $30 for this set. If you can get it for 10 or 15 and you're really interested in trying the products, great, but I think $30 is a little up there for what you're actually getting. So this is the Baby Butter Tropical Getaway kit. I honestly can never remember the exact full name, so I will make sure that it's in the description box for you guys. But essentially, this is a kit of little mini versions of all of the butter products from Physicians Formula, which I'm actually really excited that they did. I was not into those big box kits that they kept releasing because I was just thinking it's the most impractical thing to store. Who's gonna want to keep this giant box or want to travel with it? To me, it always made so much more sense if they wanted to release mini versions to do them in individual compacts, and Physicians Formula delivered. That being said, the products that are in here are very, very little, so I feel for the amount of money that you're spending, you're not getting a whole lot. So as far as what you actually get in this kit, you first of all get this really adorable bag. I love the kind of iridescent finish on it, and it's a nice vinyl kind of material, so it's something you can easily wipe clean. It would be really good to fly with or travel with because you can see through it too. But then as far as the actual products, you get a mini of Butter Bronzer, which is one of my favorite bronzers ever, and this is in the deep bronzer shade. Honestly, a big reason why I wanted to pick this up was that the shades of these products were things that I hadn't tried before, so I felt it was at least a little bit more worth it to me than just getting mini versions of products that I already had. So this is obviously a deeper shade than the original Butter Bronzer, so I've been really enjoying testing this out. I actually did use this on camera and I think a makeup playtime video earlier in July, so I'll throw that for you guys up in the cards if you want to check it out. But it's essentially the same butter bronzer formula we all love in just a deeper shade, which is nice for people that have a slightly deeper skin tone because the original butter bronzer really was only going to work for people with a fair to light medium complexion. Then there's also a little mini of the butter blush, and this is in the shade Vintage Rouge, which I had really wanted to try. I'd only previously tried, I think, the Natural Glow shade, which was honestly a highlight on me and not a blush. But this actually does show up on my cheeks pretty nicely. It's a really pretty kind of rosy neutral pink that I think would be flattering on a lot of skin tones. And then a little mini of the Butter Highlight in Champagne. I actually do have this in full size, so this is one of the few products that's in here that I haven't touched. I'm probably going to pass this along to a friend because I don't need another one of these. But I do actually really like this highlight formula a lot. It's more of a cream texture than a powder. It definitely feels wet to the touch and it leaves this really, really brilliant shimmer on your skin. I think it's super beautiful, but I do find you kind of have to apply it with your fingers. I don't think it picks up super well with a brush. They also included a little duo of the new butter eyeshadows. Now, I had not previously tried these. I hadn't picked up the butter eyeshadow palettes because I heard very mixed things about them, so I just decided ultimately I didn't need to try them. And I would say that these are decent eyeshadows, but they're not the most amazing things I've ever put on my eyeballs. The blue, especially as you can see, kind of swatches a little lackluster, but the bronze is actually pretty stunning. I kind of wish when they decided to do this as a duo that they did it with a matte and a shimmer shade, so that way you could kind of create more of a complete eye look just with the duo all by itself. Although you could use the butter bronzer as an eyeshadow if you wanted to just travel with this kit. But yeah, this is something I think I probably won't reach for a whole ton, just because even though this bronze shade is beautiful, I have other eyeshadows in palettes and in single forms that are very similar to this tone, so it's all right, but this for me wasn't something that I was really impressed by. Then you get a full size of one of the new Murumuru butter lipsticks or lip colors. I'm not sure what exactly these are called. This is in a limited edition shade. You can only get this in the kit. That is called Bejos. And I have kind of a love-hate relationship with these lipsticks. I do own 2 of them, and I think the colors of them are absolutely beautiful. They're super, super pigmented. They're very, very buttery and creamy on the lips, and they have a really nice juicy shine. But they have SPF 15 and you can taste it. It's very chemically and very unpleasant, and it makes it really not fun to wear these. So honestly, for me, the only reason like I would put up with the wonky taste is because they look super beautiful on the lips. And this shade I had high hopes for, but I wasn't really a super huge fan of it because it's kind of more frosty and metallic, and it's very sheer and a little bit patchy. It doesn't have the same creamy opacity that the other shades I own have. So that was honestly a really big bummer to me because I feel like this provides a lot of value to the overall kit being a full-size product. And I'm sure there are people out there that will really like this more sheer, shiny kind of metallic lip look. It's just personally not for me. And then finally are two products that are exclusive to this kit, and they've also released them in other similar little mini butter kits that they've done in the past. And that is the Butter Paradise Eau de Toilette and Body Butter. So these guys have a scent that's inspired by the original butter bronzer. It has that very tropically, coconutty kind of thing going on. And I'm not gonna lie, there was a little part of me that wanted to get this set just for this guy because I love coconutty tropical scents and I love the way butter bronzer smells, and you can't get this any other way. So it was real tempting to pick it up just to try this. And I will say it does smell similar to butter bronzer, but it's not identical. I guess they did want to make it more of a perfume, make it a little bit more wearable. And it's fun, but it's definitely not sophisticated. I would not say that this smells like an expensive $100 perfume. It smells like a body splash or something you might expect to get from like Bath & Body Works, which isn't a bad thing at all. And I mean, it is like a drugstore kit, so it's kind of like, what did you expect? But it's more of a, if you were curious about what this actually smells like, it is a little bit more, I would say, like young, if you will. Like, it reminds me of something that I would have loved to wear when I was in like middle school or high school. That being said, I am the 30-year-old woman who's wearing a scrunchie right now, so there's nothing that's gonna stop me from wearing this in the summer, but it's definitely more of the kind of thing that I think I would like spray on when I'm wearing t-shirt and jeans, kind of just bumming around the house, going out running errands. Like, I would probably not save this for my special occasions, if you know what I mean. Also, it's an Eau de Toilette, so the lasting power on this, not super great. Not that I would expect it to, but yeah, to me this is more of just like a fun little bonus kind of goodie. Same thing with the Body Butter. This also has the same kind of scent, very tropically. This smells a little bit closer to the original butter bronzer in my opinion for whatever reason. And the actual lotion itself, it's nice. It's body lotion. It doesn't feel super luxurious. It doesn't feel expensive again. It feels like something akin to what I would expect to find at the drugstore. But I don't hate it. I'm definitely going to use this up, and it's obviously not going to take me very long because there's such a very small amount of product in this little jar. I'm kind of surprised that they went this tiny for a body butter. Like, I could see maybe this for like a hand cream might be a better size, but I would think for like a body butter they could have gone maybe like twice the size of this, so you could get more than just a few applications out of the jar. So long story short, if you happen to stumble across this tropical getaway baby butter kit or whatever the heck that it's called, I think it's a nice way to sample the entire butter range if you've never tried any of the products in full size and you're not sure if you want to commit to actually buying the full sizes. Physicians Formula can be kind of expensive. Like, butter bronzers retail price points like $16. So I appreciate that this is like an easier and kind of more cost-effective way to try out the whole range. And also it's nice to have mini, like, more travel-friendly versions of all the products. But if I'm being 100% honest, I feel like I didn't really need this. I didn't fall in love enough with any of the products that I hadn't already tried to justify buying this. I'm glad that I got it at a discounted price. I would have been more upset, I think, if I had paid a full $30 to get this. Honestly, I think I would have probably been better off just buying a full size of the Butter Blush in Vintage Rouge because of everything in here. I think this was the only product that I didn't have that I really fell in love with. All right, moving along, let's talk about Milani. So I picked up the new Gilded Noir palette a couple of weeks back. I did use this on camera in one of my recent videos. I think it was Makeup Playtime. And I could not help myself. When I saw this in Ulta and I swatched it, it basically suckered me in because these shadows are so shiny and so brilliant. Like, I had to put them on my eyes. And while I have not used every single shade in this palette on my eyes yet, I have used quite a few of them, and I definitely have some thoughts on this guy. So right off the bat, I'm going to say this is not a standalone palette in my eyes. There are not enough mattes and transition shades in this palette to make it very easy to use all by itself. The times that I've been happiest with the looks that I've created using this palette, I've brought in shades from other palettes. So just be aware, if you're going to pick this guy up, don't expect to just be able to reach for this palette. The only like matte transition shade you have in here is this one called Entitled, which looks like it's going to be more of a warm to neutral mid-tone brown, but on the eyes, I actually find this guy to be a little bit ashy and cool toned actually. So I don't particularly love the way that it looks on the eyes, especially considering that a lot of the other shades in here, I feel like pull a little bit more warm. Like even the green that's in here, it's more of a yellow toned green than a blue toned green. So I feel like it looks better with more warm toned browns. So that is something that's definitely lacking in this palette for sure. But the shimmery shades that are in here, I think are beautiful. This duochrome kind of blue purple color I used in a look the other day, and it was so stunning. I do think it needs to be applied over like a glitter glue to really make it pop on the skin. But man, like look at that shine. It's just super wet looking and reflective. And of course, like I applied this dry. I mean, my hand is not wet or anything like that. But in general, I just think when you're using your fingers, you're able to get a more concentrated application of this type of shadow. So yeah, I would definitely recommend, if you're gonna use the like shimmery shades in here, either use your fingers and or apply it over some kind of sticky base, so that way you really get the intensity. But the colors themselves, I think, are super rich, super stunning. This blue, oh, so beautiful. Even this kind of like shimmery black that has tons of gold glitter in it is really cool. Is this the most mind-blowing formula I've ever used? No, but I do think it's decent. The price is maybe a little bit high for the quality. This guy retails for $20. You are getting a nice mirror in here, but I have seen it on sale. I actually got this for $10, and right now I think it's on the Ulta website for $11.99. I don't know if that sale is still going on. So at that price, I feel like this would be worth it if you really liked these shades and you didn't have a ton of jewel tones in your collection and you wanted to like add those pops of shimmers for doing more kind of like dramatic smoky looks. But yeah, overall I would say this is not Milani's best effort. It's not my favorite palette that they've launched. I don't think it's a total flop, and I think I will definitely continue to get use out of this because I don't have a lot of other jewel toned palettes in my collection. But essentially I think if you decide to skip over this, like, it's not a huge deal, you know? All right, so next I have a liquid lipstick from L'Oreal. I picked up one of these new Infallible Pro Matte liquid lipsticks from their Les Macarons collection. And I'm not gonna lie, a big part of why I wanted to buy one of these is that I have a mild addiction to macarons. They are so delicious. They are one of my favorite desserts that I have ever tried, and I could probably eat like an entire plate full of them if you put one in front of me. So naturally, when I hear that there is a drugstore liquid lipstick that smells like macarons, I was like, all right, I'm all about that. And I have to say, so far, I have not been disappointed by this. Now, first of all, when they say this smells like a macaron, I kind of feel like it's hard to say what exactly a macaron smells like because there are many different flavors, so they all smell like whatever their flavor is. So I would say that this in general smells sugary. It smells almost like candy. It's not a vanilla buttercreamy kind of scent. It's like straight up sugary confection, which I don't hate, especially because L'Oreal makes all their lip products smell like perfume or like baby wipes, which drives me absolutely insane. Their Rouge Signature Ink lipsticks are so beautiful, but they smell terrible. Why can't you make everything smell like this, L'Oreal? We would all be much happier with that. Now, as far as the actual performance of this guy goes, this is a serious heavy duty liquid lipstick, but it actually is weirdly comfortable. It's got a very strange texture when you apply it. It feels almost like a gel going on. It's not creamy or moussey. It's very, very different from any other liquid lipsticks that I've used. And when it dries down, it doesn't dry down to a completely like matte powdery finish. It almost has a slight tack to it, but your lips don't like do that thing where sometimes if you have a tacky liquid lipstick, your lips kind of stick together, and then as they pull apart, it pulls the lipstick off of itself and you get like little crumbly bits and bald patches. This seems to stay put ridiculously well once it dries. Your lips just do feel slightly sticky, which is weird, but in a way it's better than them feeling super dry. And as far as longevity goes, this stuff is insane how budge proof it is. It does not move. You can eat, you can drink, like it will not go anywhere. You need to take it off with an oil at the end of the night and like really go at your lips with a cotton pad. Like it's no joke. So this is not the kind of thing I would wear every single day, but for days where I want my lip to last, and especially considering that this is a very bold color, I appreciate that the formula like is not gonna go anywhere. Now the color that I have is called Mademoiselle Mango. I actually was just wearing this in my 15 products for $15 or less that you can get in Ulta video. So if you want to see this in action, I will throw it up in the cards for you guys. It's a beautiful color. I mean, it is just super fun, summery. Y'all know how much I love like a good red orange lip. So this is something I definitely have been really enjoying wearing. But it is unfortunately pretty rough on the lips with it being so long wearing, with it being so difficult to remove. So I mean, I don't wear a like bright red orange lip every day anyway, but for the days that I've been feeling it, this has been a really solid go-to. Then the last of the drugstore makeup that I have for you guys is the new Maybelline SuperStay Full Coverage Under Eye Concealer. So this is another one that I used in my makeup playtime this month. I've been testing it out a little bit, and so far, so good. This definitely does provide a decent amount of coverage to the under eyes. It has an interesting texture to it. It's a little bit thicker and almost slightly sticky, so when you first apply it, like it does look really, really luminous in the under eyes, but if you leave it alone, it will eventually kind of set down. I usually set my under eyes with powder, and I have appreciated that this does not turn into a super dry, cakey mess when I set it. A lot of the full coverage drugstore concealers that I've tried recently just look crazy dry on my under eyes after I set them, and this, I'm wearing it right now and I feel like it's really not too bad. Now I just talked about the Maybelline Fit Me concealer in that 15 products for $15 or less video that I just did, and honestly, if I was gonna recommend a concealer from Maybelline, that is still my number one go-to. I think that concealer is so beautiful, but I don't think this guy is bad. I actually really like the packaging. I like that this is kind of a squeezy tube, but it also has a doe foot applicator. I feel like it's going to be easier to get more product out of this and like finish it up more completely. It's the one thing that stinks about the kind of hard plastic packaging. So this is very functional. The doe foot on here is nice. It's more of like that paddle style applicator, so you can swipe underneath your under eye and cover a lot of ground without needing to dip back into the tube. So yeah, all in all, I do think this guy's pretty solid. If you were on the hunt for a full coverage drugstore concealer and you were thinking about this guy, I don't think it's going to do you wrong. So let's switch gears and talk about some skincare. I've actually got a lot of stuff to talk about, so I'm going to try to move through things a little bit more quickly. The first thing that I wanted to mention is this guy. I actually got this in my FabFitFun box. I'd never heard of this brand before, and I honestly really didn't think much of it. I didn't expect to like it, but I have found myself using this a ton. So this is the Intelligent Nutrients Refining Micro Polish. Basically, this is a cream cleanser that has like tiny jojoba esters in it that really gently exfoliate the skin, and it has been an amazing morning cleanser for me. I don't like to use anything super harsh in the mornings because I'm not removing any makeup from my skin. I'm just removing essentially any residual skincare from the night before, any oils or whatnot that have kind of accumulated on my face. And I do appreciate a little gentle exfoliation in the morning to kind of make sure that my makeup and everything goes on nice and smoothly. And that is exactly what this guy does for me. It is a super hydrating, gentle cleanser. The exfoliating particles in here are very, very light. It's not too scrubby, so it's the kind of thing I feel like I could use every day and it's not going to irritate my skin. And in general, it's just been a really solid product. Again, it's something that it totally took me by surprise. Did not expect to love this at all. This is a Leaping Bunny certified brand. They use all kinds of really good natural ingredients, so I was really excited that this ended up working out so well for me. Then I have a whole bunch of stuff from Pixi Beauty. They sent me over this really adorable PR package. It was a little bottle that looked like a bottle of vitamins that was full of their vitamin C skincare. So I've been testing these products out. Some of them, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I have not had a chance to use enough for me to feel comfortable properly reviewing them, but a couple of them I definitely have some solid thoughts on. So let me quickly show you what was in the package. So they sent over the vitamin C toner, the vitamin C juice cleanser, the vitamin C caviar balm, the vitamin C lotion, and the vitamin C serum. And the two products that I've used by far the most this month are the vitamin C juice cleanser and the tonic, or the toner. So the juice cleanser is essentially like Pixi's take on a micellar water. So this is something you're supposed to use to remove your makeup. It has one of those little push down kind of pumps, which I think is really cool. So you just put your cotton pad on top and pump it. I will say though, I've definitely had a cleanser shoot off all over my bathroom for whatever reason, no matter how well I place the cotton pad down over the little spout. I don't know what's wrong with me. But as far as how it actually works, I will say it smells delicious. It's very citrusy. It's gentle. It doesn't irritate my skin at all. Is it the most effective makeup remover I've ever used? It's kind of it's not the worst, but it's not the best. Typically, I honestly use this after going in with an oil-based cleanser to remove any residual makeup that's still on my face, and for that purpose I find it to be perfect. I don't think if you were wearing a full face of glam like I'm wearing right now and you just went in with this to try to remove your makeup, I think you would go through 10 cotton pads. It would take a lot of product to get everything off. But if you just want something gentle to remove your residual mascara, eyeliner, etc., or any traces of makeup around your face after you were taking your makeup off with another cleanser, I think this does work really, really nicely, and it, again, does not irritate my skin at all, which I really appreciate. Then the vitamin C tonic, I've been really liking using this in the mornings. I switched this up from the rose tonic, which I had been using previously, and this, again, it smells good. I feel like it kind of hydrates the skin a little bit. It's not the kind of toner that's going to strip your skin. It doesn't have any alcohol in it, so it doesn't leave it feeling tight or tingly or anything like that. It's more of a pH balancer slash hydrator, if anything. So this, again, has been really nice for mornings. I do like the original Glow Tonic as well, but that I usually save for bedtime because it has alpha hydroxy acids in it, so I try not to use those on my skin when I'm just about to go out into the sun. I like to put them on at bedtime. But yeah, this has been really pleasant to use. I like the way that it feels. My skin has been seemingly happy with it. I can't say that I've noticed anything remarkably different. My skin's been in a pretty good place as per late. I mean, with the change of seasons from spring to summer, I'm definitely very oily now, but breakouts, whatnot, have been not too bad. So far, so good with this guy. But the rest of this stuff I'm definitely going to need a little bit more time with. The vitamin C serum I had started to use, and then I switched to the Florian B one, so I'm gonna have to come back to this. I also think it might be interesting to look at the ingredients of the two of them and see how they compare. I haven't used the vitamin C caviar balm at all yet, so that's totally on my to-do list for August. And the vitamin C lotion I have tried several times, and this is nice. It's a more lightweight textured lotion. It's definitely not a night cream. So I find I can, with my oily skin, wear this under makeup and it doesn't break apart things or make things super greasy. It smells pretty good. I don't know that I've noticed any really remarkable skin brightening. This is supposed to be a brightening moisturizer, and honestly, I haven't seen a huge difference. But it works. It's a moisturizer. It makes my skin feel soft and a little bit more supple. So in that respect, I like it. And then let's wrap things up with some sun care. So Derma sent this over to me. It's their new Ultra Sheer Mineral Body Sunscreen Mist. And I took this with me to New Hampshire. I was there for like 4 or 5 days with my husband for a wedding, and we were outside a lot during that week, like playing yard games and just hanging out. So sunscreen was an absolute must, and I will say this worked so well. Now, I love my Bare Republic sunscreens, which I do have one I want to talk about, and I will get to that next. But I have to say, this guy rubs in better than the Bare Republic ones do. If you've ever used a mineral sunscreen before, especially ones for body, they can definitely be very chalky. It's just one of the things that comes along with the territory. It's why so many people like chemical sunscreens, because they rub in clear. I just personally find them to be very irritating on my skin. They also spook me out a little bit because they absorb into your bloodstream. So I personally made the choice to go all mineral with my sunscreen. And as far as ease of application, I find this to be awesome. Yes, it's a spray, but you do have to rub it in. And honestly, with any sprays, even the clear ones, you should rub them, because you're not going to ensure that you're getting an even application if you just spray it on yourself. Regardless, this guy, it is a white spray. I'm gonna put a little bit on. So you can see it goes on white, but it's very liquidy. So I find it's really easy to rub it into this skin, and it doesn't leave like a crazy white cast behind. Yes, your skin will feel like a little chalky, like a little tacky afterwards, which again, I feel is very much the case with all mineral sunscreens. But the thing is, it works. When I used this, I did not get sunburn at all. So if you are looking for a mineral sunscreen for body that's really easy to apply, if you can't deal with the chalky white cast of other sunscreens, you may want to check this guy out. Another one that I'm really into is the holographic sunscreen from Bare Republic. I can't remember if I brought this up on my channel before, but just in case I haven't, this is so much fun, and I've gotten so many compliments when I've worn this. So this is another mineral sunscreen, and this is a lotion, so it is a little bit on the thick side. But what's cool about this guy is once you completely rub it in, as you can see, like it's gonna go on white. I don't know if this will pick up on camera, but once you rub it in, it leaves an iridescent sparkle on your skin, and it is so pretty in the sunlight. I was out with my mom one day, and I was wearing this all over my arms and my chest because I was wearing like a little sundress, and I wanted to make sure that my arms didn't get burned while we were outside. And so many people complimented me and were like, "What are you wearing on your arms?" And I'm like, is my sunscreen. So this to me is just like the perfect thing. Like if you're going out to an event or something and you know you're gonna be in the sun and you don't wanna be burned, but you still wanna look like shimmery and pretty, this is the perfect solution. And it also comes in other colors as well. I think they have like a rose gold shimmer and a silver shimmer. So if the holographic, like bluey purple kind of shimmer is not your jam, there are other options. So yeah, these are my body sunscreen summer must-haves. Been loving those. And then for my face, you guys have seen this before, the Ren Clean Screen Mineral Sunscreen. When I first got this, I was a little lukewarm about it because it says it's mattifying, and when you put it on your skin, it is not mattifying. Like it goes on looking very luminous. But I will say, I again have been wearing this for my trips when I've been out and about this summer, and my face has not burned at all. This has done me so well. It doesn't irritate my skin. It doesn't have any weird ingredients in it. It's got a very natural formulation, which I really like. And it smells good too, because it's got a lot of fruit extracts in it, so it smells really fruity. It doesn't have that traditional sunscreen scent. So I just want to give you an update on this. I'm really, really enjoying this for the summer, especially for like beach trips, outings, etc. Days where I am or am not wearing makeup. I feel like it's been pretty solid. Alright guys, so those are all the products that I wanted to talk about in today's video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I hope you enjoyed hearing my little mini reviews and thoughts on all these guys. If you have tried any of these products, I would love to hear what your experience with them has been, so definitely make sure to leave a comment. Let me know, do you like them, do you not like them, are we on the same page, or did you have like a completely different experience? If you are new here to my channel, I hope you will consider subscribing enjoying coming back and hanging out with me again. It's the beginning of a new month, so I've got lots of fun regular content planned. My everyday makeup drawer is coming up, new in beauty is coming up. I think also I'm gonna need to do a whole video for you guys because I've got lots of new stuff to share. So yeah, lots of fun things on the horizon. I hope you guys will be back to check them out. And on that note, I'm sure this video has been super long, so I'm gonna let you guys go. But I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.